seeing me, everyone. That's Wabu, Mambo, Habadi, Salama, to all of my Bantu brothers and sisters scattered all over the world. And to those who are of other nations, I say Salama to you as well. Today I'm going to be sharing a vision that I received a couple of nights ago, and I was debating with myself on whether or not I should share it with you guys because I just know a lot of people won't receive this, but well, I had to realize that the reason I was given this vision was for me to share it. So whether or not you receive this is none of my business. I am just the messenger. So the vision was I was walking into this auditorium, and the auditorium was full of black people, the most black people I have ever seen in one room. It was huge. And I was walking down the aisle, and I turned around and I saw someone who I recognized. They were no longer on here on earth in flesh. So I was like, oh, there's a spirit in the room. Okay. So that I spoke to that spirit. They spoke back, and you know, he sat down. And then someone else walked in, and I recognized him as well. And so, he's no longer here in flesh anymore. So I was like, okay, now there's two spirits. This is strange. And so, I spoke, he spoke, and he also went to sit down. So I was walking down the aisle. I was looking around, just like, why are all these people here? And then I looked out into the crowd, and I saw this lady. She was looking at me, and I could tell she had a really sweet spirit. And she smiled at me, and she held out her hand for me to come sit with her. So while I was getting down that road to get to my seat, I looked at the people, and I was speaking as I was passing by them, and I recognized this one lady who was also no longer here on earth in flesh. I said, okay, something strange is going on. And so I spoke to her. She spoke back. She went and sat down. I went and sat down. And I got to the seat where the lady invited me to sit with her. And she hugged me. She held my hand. She smiled at me. Like she was so happy that I was here. And then she turned around and she spoke to the people on stage. And she said with a loud voice, we are trying to speak to our people and tell them what is going on, but they won't listen. In that moment, the whole auditorium went up into an uproar. They were very irritated. They were in agreement with her. They were in agreement. That moment I realized that every single person in this room, except me, were ancestral spirits. They were irritated, and they are irritated because they're trying to communicate with their loved ones, and nobody is listening to them. I'm here speaking on behalf of them. Your loved one is trying to communicate with you. Your loved one is seeking a connection with you. Connect with them. Talk to them. Heed to their warnings. If you think it's strange and you're worried about what other people are going to say, don't worry about them. They're probably talking about you anyways. If you've probably been given signs and you've been ignoring them because you don't understand, those dreams you don't understand, or you've probably misinterpreted. You need to rethink that. You need to rethink it. To those who think that it is wrong to communicate with your ancestors, let me remind you that the Messiah did go to the Mount of Olives to communicate with Massa and Elijah, his ancestors. And he took 3 disciples with him. The Messiah communicated with his ancestors. They were dead, but he was communicating with them. It is not a sin. The Most High didn't say it was an abomination. He didn't say that it was a sin. He didn't say that he didn't like it. To those who think that being a Bantu is ancestral worship, it is in our nature to honor our ancestors. But the only one who we worship is the Most High, the Creator. Our ancestors are there to protect and guide us. But overall, the Most High has the final say. So, being a Bantu is not ancestral worship. Is deep. It's not religion. Being a Bantu is who you are. You can't not be a Bantu. It's just who you are. It's your DNA. It's in your blood. So, communicate with your ancestors. Seek them, reach them, connect with them. Seek the Most High in all of this. And don't not only just your recent ancestors, but seek your ancient ancestors too. Those you haven't met, those you don't know. Seek them. Don't let the slave masters tell you that it is a sin to connect to your ancestors, and then they go off and connect with theirs. I love you all. Again, I'm just a messenger. Whether you receive this or not, it's none of my business. So I love you all regardless of, whether you receive it or not. Peace and blessings.